Well, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. That's much better. Mr. Ray Bonecrusher. Obviously, he can't keep his mouth shut. And now he's prying into other people's business. And families. And, you know. So he said, he'd been looking at some stuff on the internet. And I did run across the posting on there that had to do with Mr. Hales, and you could say relationship with his children, and it was disturbing to say the least. Some sort of psychiatrist had made some recommendations to the court, and it had some things in there that talked about the bruising that was left on his children for punishment. Apparently, these weren't made up things. People, these are papers that were submitted to the court. It was submitted on the emergency basis. But I have to ask this question, Mr. Bonecrusher. What does Jeremy's family, and what relevance does Jeremy's family have with the current lawsuit that's going on right now? It has no relevance. And to be honest with you, it's none of your business what Jeremy's past family life is. Why are you bringing this up? Oh, that's right. You're trying to bring this up because you just want to find dirt on Jeremy. Well, you know, his family life is not any of your concern and has no relevance in this case. And to me, it's like I said, it's none of your business, and it's none of the anti-what-the-hell's ecosystem's business either. But again, I'm going to ask you, show your proof. If you have proof of these, you can email me, and I want to see the proof. Back there 3 years ago, right now, and it was heartbreaking. And as a parent, I would never let somebody like that near my children. But if you happen to see the paperwork out there, it actually says that the children were suffering from PTSD at the fall of Mr. Hales. And it was enough for me to realize that, well, my opinions probably are as correct as you can get from way back there. And that I can only feel sorry for those children in different times. Again, sir, Jeremy's family life is not your business, or the anti-what-the-hell's ecosystem's business. Why are you trying to find something? You're just trying to dig up dirt on Jeremy so you can try and use it against him in court. And it's not, the judge is going to laugh at you. If you bring this evidence to court, that judge is going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. Because you're nothing but a joke. Jeremy's family life is not your business. Okay? I thought that things that were handed out to John and Michelle were worse than some of the prisoners that were going through worse than some of the prisoners were going through during World War II. Okay, Mr. Bonecrusher. Let me refresh your old fart memory. For one thing, Jeremy never did anything to Michelle and John. You keep forgetting You keep forgetting that it was Michelle and John that stalked him to Otter Creek. It was Michelle and John who asked Jeremy to put a donation jar at half meal time to the grill, and when Jeremy said no because it was inappropriate, that's when John and Michelle went on that rampage that they did. You say that you don't want to hear it, that it was all on John and Michelle. Well, you're going to hear it. Okay? This is all on John and Michelle. This is everything that John and Michelle have been doing for the past years, for all these years. But you seem to forget that John and Michelle stalked him to Otter Creek. He's not the one that's stalking. But you can't get it through your anti-what-the-hells ecosystem, little brain cell, no brain cell minds, that it's all on Jeremy. You pointing the finger at Jeremy. Oh, I'm going to blame Jeremy, Jeremy's doing this and Jeremy's doing, and it's not the truth. You can't handle what the truth is. So he said, and now I can see that none of them have went through what a parent in that paperwork I looked at compared to this, to his children. Wow, I can see why Jeremy or Jason came. Well, I think he screwed up and said, he meant to say Jason. Came on his own channel that he still has that channel, by the way, and tried to warn everybody out there about his father. And now I seen the papers that were submitted to the court that also said the same thing I was trying to console the children back a few years ago. And then when I say 22, okay. Again, why in the hell did you bring Jason, Jeremy's son, into this in the first place? What do you think that was going to prove that Jeremy, what kind of person Jeremy was? You know, people do change. People can find Christ and change. But you keep bringing Jeremy's past up. His marriage, his divorce, his children. It's none of your damn business. It's none of your damn business. Why do you have to keep prying into this man's life? I don't get it. What relevance do you think that what happened to Jeremy in the past has any bearing on what's going on now in the future? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. What part of this has any relevance to what's going on in the current court cases? Nothing. You're just trying to dig up dirt so you can come up with more lies. All right. So he keeps talking about Jeremy's relationship with his children. And then he starts talking about the court documents. What makes me... He said that their father and their children were scared, extremely scared, and couldn't even look. Even look at him. And that's not my words, that's what was in the paperwork. Now you can go and look at the paperwork yourself if you want to. I don't care. I'm washing my hands of that part of it. Simply because it makes me sick to my stomach to even think that there's some jerk out there that can get away with things like that. And these aren't hearsay documents. I've seen them. Okay, you can make your own mind up when you go look at them. I am not going to put them on here because you will probably accuse me of saying these are false documents. They are not. They are stamped, they are certified, and these were submitted to the court for approval, in which they were approved by the way. Okay, well, you say that you have all these documents. You say that you have all these documents. Well, again, I'm going to ask you, show proof. Show the proof. Show your proof, Mr. Ray Bonecrusher. Because I don't believe you. And so far, what I've seen on the two fleas, which will be in a live stream, it looks like they didn't show any documents. But I'm not sure. I will go back and check, and you will hear about it in a live stream. He said he seen a video the other day where little Harley was accused of harassing Willis over there at Tubetown on the property across from John and Michelle. And little Harley, she was actually yelling out, "Super Dave, Super Dave." And I've heard her yell that out before. You know, when she's been on the telephone or different times when she was on video. So it's not a surprise of her going around talking about Super Dave, because she quite frankly likes to talk to him. And about him, and she considers him a superhero. And she was talking about some stickers that she was, you know, it almost makes me cry that an adult would use a child for that, child in that manner. That Willis is accusing her of harassing him because he said that the parents taught her to do that, or something to that effect. Well, first of all, if you go to Travis's video, Mayor is at Tubetown or whatever that was. Okay, when he's talking, you will hear John talking, and then you'll hear Harley Grace yelling by a hole in the fence, "Super Dave, Super Dave, Super Dave." And when Travis turned the camera around, you could see the little girl at the hole in the fence, in that part of the fence where there's a hole, doing that. And yes, Michelle and John taught them that. They are trying to instigate trouble everywhere they go. And then you say, oh, you can't say it's all on them. This right here is classic of them instigating a problem. Obviously, you don't see that. I've seen the proof, I've seen the video. So don't tell me that I'm wrong when I've seen the proof and I've seen the video. And I believe Travis. Coming to and have all become party to. I know you're not going to speak on it very long today. I will not speak about it and this will be one of my shortest videos I put out. I just never believed that humanity would lower itself to what these people are doing right now to this family, and that one of them did to his own family. Alright, well, first of all, if Jeremy did anything to his family, that's between him and his family. And it's none of your business. But you are accusing Jeremy and Travis of doing something to that family when you got it twisted around. It's Michelle and John that are the ones that keep instigating this trouble. It's John and Michelle that has started this whole thing at the very, very beginning of it. But you can't see it. You are blind to what the two fleas have said. You believe the lies of a pathological liar. And I feel sorry for you. I really do. Now, little Harley doesn't deserve to be accused of something by an adult. Lord's sake, what is that guy thinking of? He's despicable, in my opinion. I'm glad I don't live there. I wouldn't be able to look at this guy. It would make me literally sick to my stomach. Again, bullshit. John and Michelle are teaching this child to do this. They are trying to instigate a problem with Travis and keep instigating in third-party contact with Jeremy, who has a protection order on them. But they're trying to get to Travis to see if he'll actually say something or do something. And I know Travis is a lot smarter than they are. And then he goes on to say, the smirk on his face when he was talking about that little girl on his channel was absolutely sickening. Alright, Mr. Bonecrusher. So, look at yourself, you and the fleas. Look at what you're doing to Jeremy. You're coming on your platform, on your YouTube channel, and harassing him, and defaming him, every time that you get a chance. I guess the right to remain silent, you don't have that ability, old man. For a while you were quiet, and all of a sudden this thing with the little girl, and now you're gonna flap your damn lips. You're just a sad, sad old person. You just don't see what the truth is because you're blinded by the lies. That it's all John and Michelle. They're the ones that started all this. They're the ones that are causing all the trouble. It's not Jeremy and it's not Travis. Now he says that my heart hurts for little Harley and my heart hurts for Jeremy's children, and the fact that you know the focus has been too much why the people want to use Harley as a focus for this fight. Why do you get a kick out of using that for drama? Again, this is all on. You can't say that it's Travis and Jeremy. And the reason why you can't say it's Travis or Jeremy, because they're on their own doing their thing. And these people are having a little daughter scream stuff at Travis when he's trying to do a live stream. And she's being taught that by the parents. Travis and Jeremy and them are minding their own business. They're the ones that are making that contact, not them. You know, when she's a teenager, she's going to have a hard time living past, living with this down that people have done to her. They are going to look at her as being out of the ordinary because of everything that's happening to her, happening to it right now. She can't hardly go anywhere without being under scrutiny. And you know why? Because it's the parents that are doing, the so-called parents. You are not looking at the whole thing. You are not blaming the parents. It's the parents that are doing this. Not Jeremy and not Travis. But you can't see past the lies. You can't see that. You are blinded by the lies from a pathological liar. And you fell for it. These people are just, he's ridiculous, but it's just a heartbreaker. And for anybody out there to let that happen after I looked at those papers today and seeing what they had said, I'm sure they are going to be all over the internet very quick. I wouldn't be able to look at Jeremy in the eyes. Well, I hate to tell you, Mr. Bonecrusher, again, why are you bringing up Jeremy's family and what happened from the past? What relevance do you think that this is going to have in the court case, in the two court cases that are going on right now? None. If you're trying to trash his character, and you're going to go to court and tell these lies about Jeremy, that's more defamation. It's also going to be perjury. There's no way in hell that I would follow somebody like that. But then that's just me. But when I see proof, documentation, that has helped me feel the way that I do, because it's real proof and it's court documents, it's witnesses, it's doctors, it's when they all say, hey, you guys, you need to look a different way. Again, show your proof. Show these documents. If you have these documents, and that goes out to you, Ray, and that goes out to you, the two fleas. If you have evidence and proof and these court documents, then show it. Show it. I do not believe you. I do not believe you, and I never will believe you, because you and the two fleas do nothing but lie and defame and harass Jeremy. Well, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.